As war with Japan dragged on in the Pacific Theater, the United States raced to develop and complete a new weapon in total secrecy. President Roosevelt established the Manhattan Project in 1942 to create a new top-secret bomb designed to end the war. And by 1944, the development of the first atomic bomb was well underway.
Even the thousands of men and women working on the project had no idea of the staggering energy they were to release.
Needing an experienced bomber pilot to lead an important new mission, General James Doolittle recommended Captain Paul Tibbets. Tibbets had over 43 aerial bombardment missions in Europe and North Africa to his name. His new mission was to help with the development and testing of the new Boeing B-29 Superfortress. Tibbets test flew the B-29 at the Boeing factory in Kansas and had soon logged more flight time in the plane than any other pilot alive. After completing flight testing and development of the new bomber, Tibbets was named director of the 17th Bombardment Operational Training Wing, a unit specifically designed to train pilots to fly the B-29. Paul W. Tibbets Jr. was born in Quincy, Illinois on February 23, 1915. As a boy, young Tibbets became enamored with aviation after his mother paid $1 to let him sit in an airplane at a local carnival. Later, when he was 12, Tibbets got to fly with a local barnstormer and drop candy bars to the crowds at a local racetrack. The seeds of a career in aviation were planted. Now a lieutenant colonel, Tibbets was summoned to Colorado Springs Army Airfield in 1944 for a top-secret meeting with 3 representatives of the Manhattan Project. Tibbets was told that he would be in charge of the 509th Composite Group, a unit of about 1,800 men and 15 B-29s. He was given a choice of 3 possible bases for his new classified mission. He chose Wendover Army Airfield in Utah for its remoteness.
This is Colonel Paul Tibbets of Miami, Florida, commander of the Atomic Bomb Group.
Promoted to colonel in January 1945, Tibbets brought his wife and family with him to Wendover. To explain the abundance of workers on base, Tibbets lied to his wife, telling her that the men were sanitary workers. Other military units joined the 509th in Wendover to assist in the mission of preparing to use the atomic weapon in war. Under conditions of extreme secrecy, dummy bombs in the shape of Fat Man and Little Boy were loaded onto the modified B-29s and dropped on the nearby bombing range until Tibbets was confident in his unit's performance. The air crews trained continuously until May, at which time almost the entire contingent of pilots, engineers, and support staff were relocated to Tinian Island in the Pacific. It was from Tinian that the missions to bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki would be launched. Following 3 months of intense training and preparation, Tibbets and his men were finally briefed on their mission on August 4th and 5th, 1945. On August 6th, Colonel Paul Tibbets and the crew of the Enola Gay took off from Tinian Island for an appointment with history.
We are now prepared to destroy more rapidly and completely every productive enterprise the Japanese have in any city.
They began arming the bomb 8 minutes into the flight, a task which took 25 minutes. The B-29 began to climb to 30,000 feet and then began the final bombing run to Hiroshima. The bomb, called Little Boy, was released.
Well, as the bomb left the airplane, we took over manual control, made an extremely steep turn to try and put as much distance between ourselves and the explosion as possible. After we felt the explosion hit the airplane, that is the concussion waves, we knew that the bomb had exploded, everything was a success, so we turned around to take a look at it. The sight that greeted our eyes was quite beyond what we had expected, because we saw this cloud of boiling dust and debris below us with this tremendous mushroom on top. Beneath that was hidden the ruins of the city of Hiroshima.
Immediately after his return to Tinian Island, Colonel Tibbets was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross. 3 days later, another B-29 released the second atomic bomb on Nagasaki. Just 6 days later, the Japanese surrendered. Paul Tibbets became a national hero because of his daring mission. His newfound fame led to an invitation to the White House by President Truman, and he was featured in numerous books, movies, and interviews. Later promoted to Brigadier General, Tibbets felt strongly that his mission hastened the end of a brutal chapter in World War II and ultimately saved numerous American lives.